Okay, in this video, I'm going to go over long division with you. So long division shouldn't be new for you. You should have done it in grade 5. But what might be new this year is after we're done the long division process, we have to write our answers as mixed numbers. Okay, so we're still working with fractions here. But sometimes if we have a fraction like 71 over 5, that fraction, if we were going to use picture method to turn this into a mixed number like you guys have been practicing, that would mean we'd have to shade in 71 parts and we'd have to draw as many rectangles as it takes to do that, and that would take a while. Okay, so instead we use long division to solve these types of questions. So what you're going to do is you're always going to write the denominator outside of the house, right, and the numerator inside. So that's how you're going to set it up. And then we're going to be following the steps of D.M. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Yes, they do. Okay. So D for divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. So you might have done slightly different letters in grade 5, but it's the same process we're going to follow. This is called the traditional strategy. Okay. So the first thing you're going to ask yourself is how many groups of 5 can fit into 7? So if you have 7 of something, how many groups of 5 can you make? Well, you can make 1. One group of 5 is 5. So that's the multiply step, okay? So then what you're going to have to do is subtract 5 from 7. So you do that. You draw your line and you go 7 subtract 5 is 2. Check is this step. So does 5 go into 2? If you have 2 of something, can you make a group of 5? So the answer is no. So you have to bring down. So you bring down the 1, okay? Then you're going to ask yourself how many groups of 5 fit inside of 21? So you would do your skip counting or your multiplication and you'd figure out that 5, 10, 15, 20, it's 4 groups. So you'd write 4. And then this is a common mistake is students will then take away 4 here. You're not taking away 4, you're taking away 4 groups of 5. Okay, so 4 times 5 is 20. So you're going to take that away. When you subtract 21 or 20 from 21, you're going to get 1. Now, how do you know that you're done and this is your remainder? It's when you have no other numbers that you can bring down. Okay, so we write an R in front of this, R1, and then I like you to write R1 up top. Okay, so now we're not done. So this is where you might have stopped in grade 5, but in grade 6, we now need to write this as a mixed number. So this whole number up here is always the number you write in front, like this, 14. Your remainder is always the numerator in your proper fraction, and the denominator always is the denominator. So this would be our mixed number. So we can say that 71 over 5 is equal to 14 and 1/5. So this means that 14 can go, or 5 can go into 71 14 times, and you would have a remainder of 1. Okay. So those are the steps that you'll be following in long division. So I'll show you one more practice question here. Okay, so let's try, sometimes we have to do 3 digits. So let's try 161 over, let's try 6. Okay, 161 over 6. So you're going to ask you're going to set up your question first, 6 into 161, okay? Now, in this question, 6 doesn't go into 1, so you're going to actually just look at 2 digits to start. So how many groups of 6 can fit into 16? So you go 6, 12, 18. 18's too far, so that means 2 groups. So you write your groups up top, and then you're going to subtract what 6 times 2 is. So 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, you make sure you're lined up under the 16. 16 take away 12 is 4. Now you just do a quick self-check. Can 6 go into 4? No, it can't. So you bring down the 1. And I always like you drawing arrows when you're bringing down. So now you ask yourself, how many groups of 6 fit inside of 41? So you start skip counting. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. So it'd be 6 groups. So you write 6 up top, and you do 6 times 6 is 36. So you're going to take away 36 from 41. Okay? And when you do that, you're going to get 5. Now, 6 doesn't go into 5, and there's no there's nothing to bring down. So this is our remainder. So we write R5, R5. Okay? Now, just like the last question, we have to take this information and we have to write this as a mixed number. So 26 is going to be your whole number in front. And then your numerator is always your remainder, 5 over, denominator always stays the same. So what this is saying is 6 can fit into 161 26 times, and you'll have a remainder of 5. Okay? So again, I followed the steps: divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down. The steps are always going to stay the same. How you write the mixed number is always going to stay the same. Okay, so make sure when you get an answer that you actually take a minute to think about if that answer makes sense, because that will be how you can kind of catch any mistakes that you might be making. Okay, so I think I said in the presentation that I was going to do one of the questions in your guided notes on this video, but I'm not going to. So you can just do the practice that I've asked you to do. Okay, so those are 2 examples that should help you with your long division.